Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son. Well, we're having a great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. We have to start with the 18-time world champion Boston Celtics. I think we all say that it was going to be a 5-game series. We all agreed. Well, you take
I
out
think we all agreed game 3 would be a loser.
4-1 right down. And which game would they lose? I said game 3. Russ, you said they would lose the first game, and Joe and Scott said they would lose the third game.
So there you go. And we nailed
Very
it.
good.
Yeah,
Very
we
good.
all nailed it. Yeah, that was and look, I think it's always good early on to lose a game, to have the fellas humbled a little bit and to understand that, this is all not going to go perfect.
Well, ever since 19-0, I completely agree with this guy.
Yeah, we have to go back before we go forward. We always start with Russell. Russell, what I think they take out of the series is Magic played really tough defense, especially on the perimeter. This will help them moving forward because other than OKC, this is arguably the best defense they'll face in the rest of the playoffs.
For sure. I think the only other team that could do to the Celtics what the Magic did is OKC, which is be tall enough, athletic enough, quick enough to run them off the 3-point line and make them change the way they play the game, which they did. And to the Celtics' credit, when commentators nail them throughout the year, they basically say all they do is heave up threes. And the Celtics just showed that they could win a series 4 games to 1, basically by taking one of the lowest amount of threes, in the league per game over the last 5 games. So good for them.
Timmy, I worried about the toughness in this series if you didn't have Holiday. They pretty much didn't have Holiday, but they stepped up tough-wise. Guys like Tatum and Brown showed they were just more than players. They were willing to mix it with the kids.
These guys are seasoned superstars in their prime right now. I mean, we're seeing it, boys, right in front of our eyes. These are the good times.
Yep.
These are the times we tell our grandchildren. They did.
I talk about tough, I talk with you. You like toughness, but this was
tough.
different.
They play tough, yeah. And you know what else I like is you can take maybe even Tatum. You can take one of these guys out of the equation almost every game, maybe even 2, and they probably would still be the odds-on favorite to win.
Yep, Joe. I didn't think Porzingis played well at all, but who played incredible was Al Horford.
Oh, yeah, he took up the slack. KP was garbage. He was terrible defensively. He was terrible. Couldn't throw the ball in the ocean offensively. And then he was in foul trouble the entire series, too, to boot. So he didn't play many minutes. But Al really came to the fore and was immense, both ends of the floor, but especially on the defensive end.
Is Al a different player, guys, because he already won a chip? It just seems like he's playing even looser now, knowing that he already got one, and this is just working on his legacy right now.
Yeah, that, and look, I mean, can you name another player in Boston in the recent past who's kept himself in this kind of condition as late in his career as Al Horford? I mean, he looks fitter than he did his first go around with the Celtics.
Yeah,
he certainly doesn't look out of place out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
every game he's looked better now than he did at any time in the regular season. I mean, he's saving the best for last.
How old is he now? How old?
What is he, 38?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I had him retiring if he won a championship. It's pretty clear that he's not going anywhere.
He's going to be 39 in the next 6 weeks, and people are saying, "Oh, Al will retire." Why would you retire after this year if you're Al Horford? You play in a good team, you make a lot of money, you're really good still. They don't ask you to do too much.
And you got your kids that having an incredible experience with your child, and he's growing up too in front of our very eyes.
Wouldn't that be something if his son became an NBA player just like he and his father did?
Now,
That'd be amazing.
what's
Yeah.
Al on the books for?
Well, I think he's a
Oh,
free agent after
28?
this year.
He
Yeah. No,
is.
no, no, no. My God, no. He's making like 12 million, something like that.
Oh,
He's a free agent. I thought they had
He's a
they don't have an
no,
option.
no, no.
Yeah.
He's a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
So if
He's-
he says
yeah.
he wants to come back, what do you think? What do you think the hit
He
is?
he makes $9,750,000 this year.
Any bonuses thrown in there? Any?
Nope.
Great,
Nope.
that's it.
So you
that
duplicate.
doesn't
So-
happen in NBA contracts for the most part, Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just give him another 2
So
years
he-
at the same price.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Why would he do that? You know?
Why not? You make $10 million for
It's real money.
doing something you love, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
real money.
And
Plenty of
If he
time to
gets
enjoy
another
it.
championship, that'll be 4 rings for him with the 2
You know,
college
He'll
championships.
he'll have 35 years when he retires to spend the money. You know?
Exactly. If he wins a second title, if they win a second title this year, does he get his number retired?
100%. He may get it retired even if they don't win a second one.
Okay.
You know what else? He just brings such a class and professionalism to the organization too.
Yep.
I mean,
He's going to
There's
make
some-
the Hall of Fame, guys, because he won 2
Oh, yeah.
championships back to back at University of Florida. So,
Yeah.
you know,
there's something to be said, you know, like with the Patriots had it for a while in the locker room, right? The Willie McGinnis, the Teddy Bruschies, the Will Forks of the world, you know, they set a level of expectation. You know, I'm sure he carries a lot of juice in that locker room.
Oh,
Like, you know.
absolutely. No
you
question.
just all you have to do is listen to Jason Tatum talk about him. He says he's the best teammate he's ever had, best teammate he could ever imagine having. I mean,
How he takes care of himself, how he conducts himself,
Yeah.
what kind of a dad he is, what kind of a husband he is, all those things. You know what I mean?
Joe, they could use the rest. Even though it's a 5-game series, they got the shit kicked out of them physically, and they could definitely use the rest and an opportunity for Holiday to get back from this hamstring injury.
Yeah, hamstrings are long-term
Mm.
type things, and then you can tweak them again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But the rust does everyone good. Tatum's wrist, Brown's knee.
Yeah.
God knows what's going on with D-Web, but something's got to be going wrong. Wrist on Pritchard too.
Yeah.
He got banged up, and he got the thigh injury there when what's his name? Was it Carter that need him?
Yeah. So, needless to say, this is a big game tonight. Knicks Pistons, Game 6. I have personally been rooting for the Knicks as hard as I possibly can.
Oh
because I want
yeah.
us to beat New York, and also we have the Knicks number. There's no, I mean, I'm more afraid of the Magic than I would be the Knicks.
Especially
guys-
with an injured Jalen Brunson. He's only playing at half speed.
Yeah.
We'll take them apart.
Yep. All right, let's go around the room. Timmy, are you rooting for the Knicks or the Pistons?
The Pistons would be so nothing. The Knicks would be exciting. You know, Boston, New York, it's always big, you know. And then just to watch the Knicks fans suffer a little bit. I don't want them any joy for beating the Pistons. I mean, they'll celebrate like it's the Super Bowl championship
Yeah.
in New York for winning a playoff series. But yeah, I definitely want the Knicks, you know, just to beat New York.
Great theater. Russell?
Yeah, we've had the Knicks number, and there is right now in sports nothing better than sending those obnoxious New York Knicks fans home unhappy. Like literally nothing makes me happier with them when the Knicks lose a big game at home.
Especially at the hands
Worse
of
than the
Boston.
Yankees.
Hey, at
Yeah.
the hands of Boston.
Oh, worse than
Oh.
wait. Oh, come on.
Worse than the
Yes.
Yankees. These effing New Yorkers in the first 3 rows of this Knicks of Madison Square Garden.
Stephen A. Smith.
Oh my God! Nothing would make me
Tracy
happier
Morgan
than to send
throwing
those
up
people
on
home.
himself.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Better
And I
than the
want
Yankees fans.
nothing to do with the Detroit Pistons. That's all the Orlando Magic all over
Yeah.
again.
Hey, do we think
A little
Shannon,
more,
very
much
Sharp-
more
Shannon Sharp,
skills.
do we think Shannon Sharp will be in the front row?
Oh yeah. What causing trouble? It's all about him when he's in the front row too.
He's in a little
yeah.
trouble these days. Oh my goodness.
Ben Stiller. Oh my
Ooh.
God! Then all of a sudden you have a Boomer Esiason sighting. It's
Just
like,
go home.
just-
Nothing makes me happier.
Yeah.
It's way better than the Yankees fans going home. At least the Yankees have won something recently. When's the last time the Knicks have won anything?
1971 or something, right? It was
Please.
55
Oh
years.
my God.
Time.
And then Spike Lee having to wear as many bright outfits as he possibly can so they'll notice that little dwarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. I want them.
Nothing
I
better
want
than
them
beating the
so
Knicks.
badly. And we just don't beat them, guys, in the Garden. We beat them by 60 points in Madison
Kind
Square
of, kind of what we did to the Nets a few years ago, right?
Yeah, these games aren't even close.
Bet D. White and Drew their prop bets because with Brunson, he was never a good defensive player to begin with. And
Look,
now
the Knicks
with
had
the
the-
bum ankle, everyone's
Yeah.
just taking his pants down out in the court.
You know, how privileged are we to have D. White and that those two guards we have? I mean, it's unbelievable right now.
Drew won the sportsmanship award for the NBA this
Yeah,
year.
Drew Holiday did. Yeah,
Best
Joe,
I've ever had. Sorry.
No, I don't. I mean,
No?
it's well. I mean, you've got Casey and Sam Jones. You've got
JoJo and Charlie.
JoJo and Charlie Scott. You
And
had.
Havlicek.
I mean, Ainge and
You
Johnson
haven't- you
were
haven't-
pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That still doesn't.
had,
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
still
I'm
picking
not
these guys.
saying. I'm not saying they're out
Cruzy
of,
and Frank Ramsey going way back, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
They're
I don't
they're
think
in
they
rare
would
air,
be. Yeah, they're in rare air. I mean, Rondo and Ray Allen for those few years. I mean,
That was
they're in
pretty
rare
good,
air,
yeah.
top five.
But
Yeah, top
yeah,
five.
but I mean, these both of them defensively, offensively,
Very
teammate
good.
wise.
Yeah, no, they're
It's
terrific.
like, what more could we ask for? You know what I mean?
Look at OKC did. OKC knew that was the equation, and they went and got Alex Caruso, and obviously that's been very helpful.
And Hartenstein is what was the big one they got.
I mean, what an acquisition Drew was, though. What an addition
Oh my
to
God.
this
Oh
crew.
my God. And they didn't give up anything. They didn't give up anything.
Nothing.
No, nothing. It's and then Porzingis too. Though they gave up Marcus and you know.
Porzingis worries me though. When his shot is off, man, he's way off. You know,
He was heaving
gets
stuff
to a
too,
point with
too.
he gets to a point with his shot where it's awkward looking. You know, I went to a few games this year. He just wasn't his three. The second it was leaving his hand, he said that thing doesn't have a chance. You know.
Well, Missoula's got to rein him in a little bit because Joe, he took some heaves like 35 feet from 3-point. I was like, what is he doing?
Well, yeah, but what was more worrying to me is he couldn't post up on guys a foot shorter than him.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Listen,
look,
the
he
bunnies.
admitted today or yesterday that he had trouble with the physicality this series, and they knocked him off his game. And even the guys, Corey Joseph is a Marcus Smart type, and we talked about this last week. Marcus Smart was as good at guarding KP as he's ever gone up against. We used to sick Marcus Smart on him whenever he was on either Dallas or New York, and Smart used to drive him crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that graphic you showed today about
Peyton
our
Pritchard.
guards doing the best job on Paulo Banchero. Holiday and Pritchard were the best.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you
And
something.
he's a big, strong young kid. He's only
He
23
sure is.
years old.
He
I
is
was impressed by
a
him.
beast.
Now,
Very
somebody
good
here
player.
said he was European. He's a He's the
No.
USA guy.
He was born in Italy, but he's
That's what I read. I read his whole biography.
Who, Bencaro?
Bencaro was born in Italy.
Was I
but
looking
I
at the
think he's
wrong guy?
American.
Did he play for
Yeah,
Duke?
he's an American.
Yeah.
He's
Isn't
American.
he Puerto
He
Rican?
was born in the USA. I don't
He's
know.
so good. That guy is so good. Though he plays no defense.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
Timmy.
he
was
can,
born
he
in
can
the
play
United
defense
States.
when he
I
wants.
know what it was. He could have chosen to play for Italy, Timmy, in the World Cup and the Olympics if he wants because of his
mother?
heritage. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked him up. He's like USA born and bred, man. High school, everything. You know.
Oh, so
He kind of looks like he could be from somewhere, though. You know.
His name
It's like Embiid could pick 3 different countries,
His full name is Paolo Napoleone Giacomo Banchero.
Oh my
There you
God,
go.
I guess so. Yeah.
Let's see, it's part Italian, part Spanish, part. He almost looks a little Native American. Too.
Wait, is he white or black?
I think he's got a lot of stuff going.
Banchero is of African American descent on his mother's side and of Italian descent on his father's side. So
Oh
there you
wow,
go.
wow, that's a fun combination. Wow.
Yep.
But he is a piece of work, I'll tell you.
Oh,
He is
jeez.
he's a coming superstar.
'Yes, he
6'10"
is.
with athletic as can be. You
Well,
know,
Joe,
Oh,
you
built
talk
like
about
a
him a
brick
lot.
shithouse
Joe,
too.
you've talked about him a lot. So, Joe, I give you credit. You've been mentioning him for quite a while since he came to
Years.
the league.
Oh, I liked him the first. The Magic have had the Celtics numbers over the last 3 years. The Celtics have a losing record against them, including this series where they won 4-1.
What do you mean?
They
that?
still have. They have a losing.
Yeah.
Oh, if you take this,
There's a little. I mean, they played them tough, but there were also a bunch
Yeah.
of games where they were sitting out guys and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
that's right.
that was. I'm glad to get rid of them. I'm glad it's
Oh,
over.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
delighted it's over in 5.
That's why I don't want
They
Detroit
they
now.
beat us up.
Forget 'em.
Yeah,
you know, relatively unscathed. I mean, we did definitely leave with a few bumps and bruises.
relatively.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the key is
Yeah.
Holiday coming back from the hamstring. And you would assume after 5 days from now that he should be okay.
Yeah.
you could see when the Celtics
Yeah.
hit like some rough spots how they really like his role. Like we were missing his role. At certain
That's exactly
moments
right.
in games.
And that Wagner, oh, he is so good too. Oh,
It could
man.
the guy was getting to whatever spot he wanted to. We could not stop him. It was rough.
Oh,
That was rough.
if Lando Magic could be really tough moving forward if they get a couple of good players who can shoot.
Hmm.
They're one top player away from wow.
Well,
We
they
better
have
win this.
a couple. Well, that Jalen Suggs is a good player.
I just
he
want
was
to know
Yeah,
who's
he
going to
is.
win the championship this year, guys. I don't know. I don't think the window. I think the window could close sooner than we think.
Hmm.
Oh, there's a lot of good young talent in the league. Just
Yeah.
look at Detroit. Who
Yeah.
might
You know,
be
you
our
can
next-
go to a Celtics game, any game, pick any game, and the other team has one or two like really good players.
Yep,
You know,
you do.
every night, anywhere. You know,
The best case scenario moving forward is Knicks, Pacers, and for me, Minnesota.
Yeah. Good luck
Oh,
on that one, though. I think OKC is going to steamroll through the
Boy.
West.
but how do we
I
like
know
the Lakers getting just annihilated and
Yeah.
gone?
JJ Redick just got exposed as a terrible coach in that.
Well, I
Couldn't-
think
he
Joe
couldn't
also
even-
like he literally didn't have a big man to play. I mean,
Oh,
you
that-
know,
But playing the same five guys, not even substituting it once in an entire half. I mean, that's choking.
Oh, is that right? I didn't watch the game. Is that
Yeah.
what
no, that was the previous game. He didn't do
Yeah.
that last night. It was the previous game.
But you can't do that. I mean, that's just you're frozen that you can't
And
play.
especially
any-
with LeBron's age too, and you're not resting him. And
But Luca gets exposed defensively in the playoffs, I think.
yeah, I think what the Celtics did to him last year really hurt him.
Yeah.
They just said, pick him up the second he gets the ball in his hand down the end and make him work for every inch he brings it up the court.
Yeah.
And just like we used to do with Embiid, you know, by the fourth quarter, he'd have nothing in the tank, you know.
Well, the
Pretty
biggest
much
problem with Luca is, I think, in his offense, is he eats up like 15 seconds of the 24-second clock before anyone else can get involved in that. You know, and all of a sudden you're taking a bad shot.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
thing for me is that not trading Luca, it was what they got in return and not
Mm-hmm.
dropping him to the whole league, because you can definitely
Absolutely.
understand why you wanted to get rid of him, because you didn't want to pay him all that money and you thought he was a slacker. But that return is just horrific.
You know, I give Dallas credit for seeing through the smoke screen the Luka is. You know, he had a fabulous playoff run last year. But he's like the emperor that doesn't have clothes. Like the defense, you know what
I
I mean?
don't know.
There's
He
no
pretty much
defense.
averages a triple-double.
Oh, Joe, he's a
He's
bucket
Tatum.
machine. No,
He's almost
but Joe,
Jackson
he's an
Tatum all the way
offensive
across
machine.
the board.
He's an offensive machine. Don't get me wrong there.
And a
But there's
rebounding
two parts-
machine.
There's two parts to the game. You
I
know?
agree
He's
with
a
Timmy.
rebounding machine too, Tim.
His defense is atrocious. It's embarrassing. It's not
Half the time he
subpar.
doesn't even get back.
It's
And-
atrocious. And
And we
if he doesn't, let's put it this way: if that guy doesn't come into shape, to come into camp in shape next year, kiss him off, kiss him goodbye.
They should
Like,
trade him too. You know,
I mean, how do you it's what we talk about with Rafi Devers, year after year after year, this guy shows up as an NBA player out of shape.
You
you
can't
know,
do
he
that.
reminded me of Kyrie. We got a taste of Kyrie's no defense, right? So Luka reminds me of Kyrie. Kyrie, a magician with the ball. I mean, some of the greatest handle of all time, maybe, but he gets abused defensively. Same with Luka. Unbelievable offensive player. I mean, if I need a bucket, he might be the top guy in the league. If I had to, must have a bucket. But defensively, man, you got to do it on both ends of the court in this league.
I saw some clips of him last night. Defense. I mean, it wasn't even. He was just standing there and then wouldn't run out to defend anyone. This is playoff basketball. You got to be tight to these guys and just turning around, looking, and even didn't even go for the rebound.
If he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's like disinterested almost, you know.
Yeah, and Russell, this just in from the news desk. He's not getting in shape. They've tried to get him in shape every year, and now he's in Los Angeles living that life.
No, what he should do, what I said to some friends of mine from LA today, he should move in with the LeBron James's family and get some life lessons from LeBron James. 40 effing years old, that guy, LeBron James.
At a high level.
His body fat's probably like 2%, you know.
27, 8, and 7 this year. 25, 8, and 7. He's playing 40 to 45 minutes a night in the playoffs. 40 years old.
And the tread on his tires. Oh my God!
Well, he's got and well, what do you think? Do you think he'll pick up? It's a player option for like $52 million next year. 56.
I mean, he's not going anywhere else.
He loves LA and everything that comes with LA. Yeah. Once they go to LA, they get a taste of the weather and the life and the fame, and it's tough to. You're gonna have to get him out of there with a crowbar, I think.
I told you when I was living in Santa Monica, Adrian and I saw him ride by in a bicycle and a few other Lakers, and he was so happy just riding on a bicycle in the middle of the day. Yeah, he lived in the Palisades. I assume I don't know for Russell if you heard about his house, because I know he was living in the Palisades.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a great question, but I mean, that's what Luka should do. Luka should move in with LeBron James and just learn what he does, because like no one's, you know, there's two people who've done this. Tom Brady and LeBron James, who've kept themselves in this ability to play at a high level at 40 years old is unbelievable, unprecedented.
Yeah,
and LeBron came in right out of high school. That's amazes me that he matured so.
I watched. I don't know if you guys have been watching that Celtic City, but I watched the episode, the Ubuntu episode with Doc Rivers and Garnett and Pierce. So I watched this episode yesterday. And it's showing LeBron James going up head to head against Pierce in the 2008 playoffs, right?
Epic.
And 3 hours later, I'm watching the guy put 25 points up after playing 41 minutes.
Yeah,
you beat me to the punch, Russ. I was going to say, I remember him and Pierce's head-to-head battles. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was a great one.
Timmy.
That head-to-head
I know.
battle. That was like 17
years ago, and this is not like some 40-year-old who's showing up for 7 minutes a night.
No,
he's playing 41 minutes.
How long do we think he plays till? 44?
As long as he, honestly, as long. I mean,
he could be effective till he's 44, 45 years old.
Yeah.
Gordie Howe of basketball.
Yeah,
basketball is so much tougher to do it at an advanced age than football.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, football might be kind of tough to do it at too.
Well,
as a quarterback, you could do it.
At quarterback, you could do it.
No other position, I don't think. Maybe
field goal
center.
Kicker.
I don't know. Maybe center. I don't know.
Yeah.
Field goal kicker. Remember George Blanda was in his 40s kicking field goals.
Well, and he was the backup quarterback too. He quarterbacked quite a few games back in the day there for the Raiders.
All right. Speaking of football, we have. I love the draft so much. I had so much fun with the draft. This was what it should have been all these years.
Scotty, I'm going to tell you what, because they picked what we hoped they would pick. Someone who was slotted at 36, they picked at 36. Somebody who was slotted before they picked, you know?
They did. They picked the best player available.
Yeah. What was the last time this was the most straightforward draft the Patriots have had.
Well, most of them were minor reaches, but they were reaches for need. So it was fine. I'm fine and dandy with it.
Not a
They
lot of
needed
reaches,
the
Joe.
running. Well, Campbell was not the fourth rated thing. The running back wasn't, but these were positions of need. They had to fill them, and they filled them with the best available. So that's important. I don't mind you reaching when you do that.
They
Look,
weren't really reaches though.
No, they were just little reaches, but they were for need. So they're forgiven right there.
everybody you see, all the prognosticators and all the guys who study this were giving them A's and putting them the number one. I mean, this was across the board. These guys know a hell of a lot more than we do. And it looks like they had a plan. They addressed the offense, and then okay, the rest of the draft we're going to go the defense. I mean,
The other way around. The other way around.
but should we give them credit in one way, but discredit them in the other way, where Wolf said that how disorganized they were last year, and
Oh my
because
God.
Rabel came in and he brought this guy with him, how more organized they were this year. Seriously? I mean,
Because Wolf needed the boss to tell him what to do.
I mean, that just shows you what an embarrassment. And Russ, you talked about it right after the draft last year. They had no clue. It was pretty clear they had no clue to what they were doing. And Wolf admitted that now.
Yeah, no, you could tell they were behind everything. They were a step behind. They obviously got Drake May, but they were a step behind on everything else. And they got caught in the middle to what Timmy and Joe were just saying. They were sort of drafting for need, but they were a half step behind. So they weren't even getting the best guys in the positions that they were wanting to. So they need a left tackle. They drafted a right tackle or never played left tackle after they got beat to the punch. Right. And they did that multiple times last year. And they paid the price but they reversed course this year. They more than anything else, what I'm happy about is they drafted explosive athletes at every one of these first several positions. Right.
Yeah, Russ. Also, they weren't looking at who might jump in front of them last year at all.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
We lost
No
out
game
on
plan.
we lost out on the good left tackles last year, right? I mean,
That's
someone
right.
jumped us, right?
Yep.
I mean, there were very good ones available. Wouldn't have been that hard to move up a little bit to get what we wanted.
Wide receiver too, Tim. We were supposed to get Worthy, and then we ended up with Polk.
If I was in that situation, if I just was lost, I mean, there's 8 trillion big boards. If I am that confused, just take the one that 98 out of 100 say I should pick at 22. You know what I mean? How can they be as wrong as they were? They're picking guys in the second round that should have been in the 4th round, and third rounders that should have been in the 7th round, and I don't get it.
What I love this year is even the center they picked. The kid ran a 4.84 40, Joe. Yeah. And I know that centers don't need to run 40s, but
that's elite athleticism.
Oh my God!
My nephew goes to Georgia. He said the kid's got to be unbelievable.
In fourth round, they get a kid who looked like he was projected as a third rounder, could come in and start. So
a plus 300 pounder running under a 540. That's
I don't know how the right tackle we got last year is going to pan out. Hopefully, pretty good.
We got a new one this year.
We got a new one.
But now we got our left tackle. I'm hoping we have a solid, 10-year center in the plan now.
Mm-hmm. I think we do.
Add 1 or 2 guys to that. I mean, we could be looking at a solid offensive line in 2 years, like really, really solid.
And this year, you could probably do it. Offensive lines have to work together. They're a team within a team, and they have to work. Look at Matt Light wasn't very good at left tackle, but he had an all-pro next to him in Logan Mankins. He never had to worry about his inside. All he had to do was make sure he pushed the guy outside and behind Brady. Simple as, you work together and things will work. So I think they could get 4 starters out of this draft.
I think so too.
The 2 offensive linemen, I think, are a given. The running back, I think he might not get starts, but he'll be in for more snaps than any other running back. And the kicker will probably be a starter.
I think you see 80% of the passing down. You're going to see him in there as a back blocking.
With the long snappers too. But look,
The kicker, they say hits 70-yarders.
Look, hopefully this is the draft we'll be talking about for 3 to 5 years from now, and that changed the Patriots.
Well, they're gonna because they drafted for need. These positions are empty right now. They can step right in. It's their position to lose in a lot of these cases.
Well, everybody wants to talk
They
about
don't even have to win them. It's their position to lose.
Everybody wants to talk about the wide receiver core now. Who goes? The locks are clearly Diggs is a lock, right? Williams is a lock. Douglas, are we calling Douglas a lock?
I like him.
Yeah.
I'm not, again, I thought he didn't play that well last year. So
at least he shows some spirit. You know what I mean?
And I assume Hollins is a lock. I think that they like Hollins a lot.
Definitely. Yeah,
so
he's a lock.
Here's 4. Am I assuming that they're going to keep 6?
Yeah.
Or 7.
Well, 7 would be.
I would say 6.
6.
Yeah.
So who stays? Who goes? Who gets cut?
I think either Boudet or Bourne is gone, and they're probably going to want to try to rehabilitate Polk. And I would say it's those 2, and then everyone else is gone.
So Baker's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker's expendable. I think they might cut Bourne just for he costs more.
The cap.
How many unsuccessful seasons does he have to have before we realize?
I know. Does he doesn't have any trade value, right?
No.
Probably not,
coming off
an
an injury.
Salary.
Good amount of money is getting paid too, right? I'm sure.
Now, he played well. He played well under McDaniels that first time around, so they may give him the benefit of the doubt. There were the rumors last week that they were going to try to trade Boudet because he has more value. But one of those 2 guys,
he's making less money, right? That's why.
Yeah, much less.
Boudet was with a 6th-round pick. He's making nothing.
Yeah.
Making nothing.
So he'd have an appeal.
Making well below the veteran minimum.
But I thought Boudet played pretty well. Unless he's a troublemaker in the locker room, which I had a sense that he might be. Why would you get rid of him?
What could they get something? Could they get something?
I think wasn't he their second most productive receiver?
No, I think first.
I think he was. Yeah.
No, I think it's first.
Well, I thought Hunter Henry, but then I guess he's
okay. But receiver, I think he had 45 catches. I mean, that's not bad for. I mean, and look, the key is
a guy that's not the slot receiver too.
The key is if Diggs can actually play. I mean, we're talking about a top 10 wide receiver,
and Diggs plays the same position as
I think there is a question mark next to Diggs, though. We'll see.
Well,
I love the buddy.
Have you seen the videos of his workouts? How he's working out right now?
He's dedicated. That's
great.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
The last thing I want to do is have the summer go quickly, but geez, how exciting is it for the Patriots season right now? I mean, you guys.
Oh, we're Jets fans. We're excited about the draft and our free agents. You know what I mean?
No, but look,
we're more happy about the offseason.
We should have a winning record this year. Have you seen the schedule they're going to play? It's the easiest schedule I've ever seen an NFL team have. They only play the only legitimate games they have. They play Buffalo twice. They're a playoff team, and they play the Ravens. The only other team that's close to a playoff team is the Steelers, and they don't have a quarterback right now.
Last year, I think it was the first time in 30, 35 years where I would not watch a Patriots game. Typically, I just carved that out of the schedule. You know what I mean? My ass is on the couch watching the Patriots game. That's just a given.
Doing the laundry.
No one knows. Everyone knows. That's what's happening. My wife, that's just what, it was accepted. And I'm like, oh, want to play golf? What do you want to do? No.
Well, but the most important person right now is Russell. So you can admit in front of Timmy and Joe, we are not rooting against the Patriots anymore.
No, not unless they're 4 and 8.
Okay.
They Russell, look at that schedule. There's no way they can be.
By the way, guys, I agree. I'm probably going to predict that they win more games than any of you people.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you,
I think you
just hear me out.
Look, Timmy's
hear me out.
Well, if they're sitting there 2-10, I mean, I'm going to start rooting for
There's no
losses.
way.
You know
Look
what
at
I
that
mean?
schedule. There's
I
no
know,
way
I
they
know.
could be 2-10.
I know,
I'm
I
not
know. But
doing
if they're
this.
sitting there at 2-10, I'm officially putting the tank hat on again.
Oh,
you
They're
know?
see
only
again?
playing last place teams.
Next year's draft is loaded. You know,
Oh.
There's plenty of
I'm a
quarterbacks
Jets
next
fan. I'm a
year.
Jets fan now. It's all
Yeah,
about the draft. The actual games don't matter until we get in the draft in that position. That's all that matters now.
Look, if this
Until they
draft
prove
class,
us otherwise.
if this draft class is a bust, I don't know what to do. After all the hype
I know.
draft on this, I can you remember the Patriots getting this much love for a draft?
How about fucking Joe?
Yeah, for guys
Joe
who've never played it down in the pros.
Bazooka Joe, what we could have turned that first pick into, man. Not needing a quarterback. You know what I mean? We could have come
But
away with
I
two
tell you, things have
firsts
gone
this
so
year and a
well.
first next year. You
Timmy, I
know,
would say things have gone so well. Everything went into place.
I
It
know.
is what it is. I mean, I don't have any bitterness about it.
We
I mean,
can't have a quarterback controversy with the Messiah there.
I know. So we
Oh,
wouldn't have
shit.
needed a quarterback. What's better than having the first pick and not needing a quarterback? That's a powerful position to be in.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know, but Cam Ward wasn't in the end all compared to like the Messiah.
Well, but Travis Hunter was. You know,
Well, yeah,
I mean, they got a freaking good haul on that trade.
yeah, well, it's the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that Sanders drafting them in the 5th round with the Cleveland Browns. Did you see the face of like the
We
general
played the
manager,
Browns this year.
the general manager and the player personnel guy? They showing him them clapping like this, like they were just literally going to go to get to be executed right after.
Yeah, like they were
I mean-
forced to make the pick.
I mean, they got a first next year too. That could be like a top 3. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Out of that trade, they got a
That's
good haul
Sanders.
out of that.
That Sanders was crazy. That whole draft with Sanders.
Oh, so
Oh.
entertaining though. So entertaining.
Oh my God. And even to the point where they had the college kid making crank calls to him.
Oh, do you
Did you
see?
see the video? You can see-
They fined his father $100 grand.
Yeah.
They
You
did?
can see the veins in Mel Kiper's head. You know.
They
Why
fined
is
him
it
100
anybody
grand?
bigger?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they find him. A
And
ton
they
of money.
find the Falcons like 250 grand.
Oh yeah,
they
they
find-
did not like.
They
did
find
not
the
like
coach, and they find the coach 100 grand for allowing
that. And
you
that's-
know people who weren't supposed to have NFL material.
Yeah, and then the race baiters jumped in saying it was a racial issue and all this, and Stephen A. Smith jumped right on that bandwagon. That's kind of simmered down since then. Though. That angle is simmered
I
down.
saw nothing wrong with it. I grew up crank calling everybody. We used to do that all the
Yeah.
time.
The Jerky Boys and how about the 2 bar calls? Those are some of the greatest prank calls of all time.
Yeah, that's when we grew up. It was bored. We
Oh,
were bored. We crank called everybody. That's what you did.
Chinese restaurants. We used to torture the Chinese restaurants in my neighborhood.
Yeah, in college, my friend's favorite singer was Stevie Nicks. When Fleetwood Mac was appearing, he called in the Cap Center. They put him into their dressing room, and he got to talk to Stevie Nicks until she hung up on him. That's what you did back then. We had nothing else to do. I thought it was great. I mean, what the hell?
The kid called Hunter too, supposedly.
Yeah, the tight end.
Oh
right?
yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? Oh,
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
he called Shador.
Sanders and the tight end, I think, from right.
No, the second overall.
Oh, he did.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
What did he say to
And
him?
he was saying I forget what team he said he was representing, but where he was doing it off an NFL tablet. It was so it came through as a legitimate NFL
Oh, you got to give that
Oh.
kid credit. My God, he's gonna do
because he
very
stole
well.
he grabbed his dad's tablet. So it
Well,
came through as a legit call.
Well, the dope kid that did it put it on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Of course, of course they were going to
Yeah.
post it.
Oh,
to
not
the-
if your father's job is in jeopardy, you don't do it. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
The
I'm
pranks
talking
are-
about-
I didn't really care for it because he's only a 21, 22-year-old kid. As cocky and as arrogant as he is, I still didn't like it. I don't like seeing anyone get hurt that bad. That was painful.
Okay,
my
That was
estimation.
painful.
okay. If you,
Yeah.
I'm talking to 3 fathers. We'll go across the room. Joe, what would you have done to your son if it was
Oh.
in the position of that DC?
I would have been horribly disappointed in him. But what are you going to do?
Kid's
Yeah.
21
He's
years old.
22, 21, 22.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Russell, what would you do?
Can't ground him.
I wouldn't let him in the house for like 6 months, I think.
That's the answer I wanted. Timmy,
My father's worst thing was when he would just have the look of disappointment in his face. That had worse than any backhander I ever got. Just that
Timmy, what would you have done?
disappointing.
As a
What
father
would I
of three
do?
boys, what would you have done to Colin?
I think I would just, I think the worst thing would be not speaking to him for 6 months. That would probably be more painful than anything. I mean, what can you do to a 21-year-old? Tell them you're not going to pay their college tuition. I mean,
No, you can't.
what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What would you do?
Yeah,
What would
get
you do?
second job and start. Classic. Look, there's nothing you can do. That's your boy. And I completely get it. I think no harm, no foul. I think this is all just.
Oh, no, you see, I love.
No,
The biggest fan of prank
Scotty,
calls
there's
that made
about
this hurt.
400. Scotty, there's like $450,000 of harm. Like, you understand how much money they find his
No,
father
I
in
don't
the
think they should
franchise.
find the guy. Again, it was just a joke.
No, it was a horrible joke. Scotty, in my mind, there's jokes,
You know what?
and then this joke was
Why
somebody
was it
like
horrible? Why was it a?
Because
Sanders
you
is
hurt
Look,
this kid.
here, Scotty, here's the distinction.
Basically,
If-
he
if-
broke
if-
into the NFL and did this.
That's what I'm saying. It's one thing if Max or Lucas prank calls
Use
this guy
your
and gets
phone.
through based on his guile. This is the son of a freaking, like, he took it out of his phone. You can't do that.
No, I understand.
That's just not. There's no great, like, this one again. Like, if Max or Lucas did it, I'd laugh. I think that's fine. God bless him. But this is like the kid took the directory and made the prank call. What is that?
I don't even like the joke because someone really got hurt in this. I don't like when someone suffers. I don't dig that at all. I mean,
Sanders is an asshole.
I listen to I listen to those two bar calls for hours at a time. I laugh my ass off. This was a young kid with dreams and hopes, as cocky and as arrogant he was, and his father is and everything. I didn't dig it, man. I just didn't dig it. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I don't know.
I don't know. I think this guy's an arrogant asshole, and he treats
I do
people
too.
very poorly. And I think he got his one up and just a little for a second and got humbled. And I got no problem with it. And it's just a crank call. I didn't do anything.
I mean, they figured out that it was a crank like within 30 seconds.
I know exactly. It just good fun. It's all theater. This is just entertainment. It's like I got no. I understand, Russ. You have a great point. It's the way he got it. That wasn't.
Yeah,
fair.
that's bullshit. Like, that's like
bullshit.
whatever.
I agree with you. But Russ, I guess you call it. You're right. If he had just gotten it randomly and somehow got the guy's phone number and stuff and did it, then okay.
I like crank calls like OJ. I could see OJ in the car. I like crank calls like that.
Yeah, with the Howard Stern. Yeah, right. Yeah, Howard Stern used to do them all the time. I just want to mention it.
Have you guys never heard of the tube bar calls?
No.
Go on YouTube and check it. You'll be laughing all night. The tube bar calls. Tube bar.
Grades, Timmy. Grade for the draft.
A.
Russell.
Yeah, I'd say an A just because it made sense finally. Like, we finally went through a draft that made sense, right?
They weren't going.
Timmy,
who's this guy? Where did it come from? What?
Well, I mean, look, the Cole Strange thing, I think, was the most. Before you go to Joe, the Cole Strange thing was the most ludicrous when the Raiders, the Rams coach was making fun of the draft pick during the draft. That was embarrassing. Joseph, your grade?
I loved it. If they finally went in with a game plan and they stuck to it. I give them an A-. My only quibble is I would have liked like Tim there, the running back to be a bit bigger, but you can't have everything. And the wide receiver to be a bit taller, but you can't have everything.
I was worried about his size till I saw the tape on his pass blocking, and then my worries went away there.
Oh, and watch his running too.
Oh,
he pushes his own blockers around too.
But there's a lot of good running highlights. It was his pass blocking that really won me over, and I think that's what won Vrabel over too.
Yeah, I give it A+.
I'm sure it won Drake May over.
Yeah,
I give it A+. And like Russell said, we have athletes now. We have speed. You can't teach
speed.
And we've been so slow for so long. I mean, we've been undersized and and slow and that's apparently
And
that's
then when we did take fast guys, we take fast guys who were too skinny or who had no couldn't catch the ball or something, you know.
Taekwon Thornton, 175 pounds soaking wet.
before we go to the Red
Oh, is
Sox.
he gone? He's gone, right? Thornton's
Yeah.
gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Before we go to the Red Sox, the Cardona thing was very interesting. I thought, okay, they're cutting Cardona. You know, it's a salary cap issue too. They didn't save any money on that. He just wanted him out of the room.
He just wants his own guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was
Clean
pretty.
slate.
So there's nobody left.
Wait a second, though. Wait a second. Cardona doing a fine job, right? No bad snaps, right?
Yeah, no, he's been fine.
Not his guy.
Why now? If you could get a prospect left tackle or something like that instead of that guy, I have questions about that.
Well, this was
If you're not saving any money, I know, but you can get, you know, some 6'9", 360-pound guy with 10 feet arms. Maybe worth put him into. I don't know.
You're giving up a chance to second guess. If he fumbles a snap, we can jump all over them.
A minor quibble, but a little bit of a head scratch.
That's a good point. Russell, is he sending a message by getting rid of Cardona?
Yeah, I think he wants to turn it over, start a new culture. The kid is going to cost less than Joe Cardona, you know, salary wise. You're just going to pay him a lot less.
He is going to be less than.
No,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean, Miguel said it was only a savings of like $100,000.
Yeah,
that's it.
So I just think it's a culture thing. I think he just wants his own. I think he wants his own people.
Yeah, no, makes sense. All right, we got to go to the Boston Red Sox. Can you believe we've done 50 minutes and we haven't even gotten to the Boston Red Sox?
Well, we've only been talking about the draft for 4 months, though.
No, it's right. That loss last night was inexcusable. And just so you know, Russell,
goodness,
Cora did not take any credit for that loss.
I looked for it too, Scotty, and I didn't see it. And you know what?
Oh,
That's crap.
He was just like you, Russ. He said in the post-game presser that the game all hinged on that walk. That's where it all changed, right there. Same as you called it during the game. He didn't say he fucked up by letting him in for one more batter, which he did, but he did say the game swung on that walk.
Yeah.
But then the guy, Varsho hits a home run, and he still lets him pitch to Kirk, who goes back to back.
There. I don't get it. I just didn't get what he was doing last night. You get a guy who hasn't pitched in 550 days. He goes out and gives you 5 shutout innings. Take the freaking victory lap.
5 2/3.
Yeah, but exactly.
No, but they don't even send him out. I don't even want him out there for the 6th inning. Why would you even bring him out there for the 6th inning?
But and he didn't have anyone warming in the bullpen either, which is what I think was the mistake.
He didn't have a game plan going into that, and he wasn't executing any game plan. And then he left him in after a 2-run home run. It's like,
well, look,
that was malpractice last night. That really was malpractice.
You could let him go in the 6th. You have Wilson warming up. And the moment he walked the guy with the lefty coming up, that was an easy move.
That's it exactly.
I mean, that was a no-brainer. You just put and you go give Galito a big hug and say, "This is exactly what we wanted from you." More than
quality start, shutout, beautiful. See you later.
Just
hit the showers.
It was negligence, and this would have been a big win. They should have had it. They had some momentum going in this series, and all of a sudden now you're burning Whitlock out. You burn Chapman out. You're affected for the next 2 or 3 days. This was a huge move, and Cora didn't make it.
You want to hear a real strange sucker's bet today? Tanner Houck pitching in Toronto is favored by 1.5 with an 8 ERA.
Yeah.
Well,
should I go on DraftKings right now, Joe?
No, I bet the Red Sox because I said that's got to be a sucker's bet. Someone knows something, and he's pitching a shutout through 3. So,
what's the score?
Nothing.
0-0.
Yeah.
The Red Sox have 3 hits, and Toronto only has 2 hits.
What's the biggest so this breaking news, some just terrible news. Campbell got scratched. Mayer got scratched, and now
Oh, really?
the big headline news is Walker Bueller is going for test back in Boston for his shoulder.
Oh,
What?
I didn't
Yeah.
hear that. That's terrible.
Yeah, that came out. It's not great news at all, if you
Because
ask
he's
me.
been pitching well the last three
Oh,
outings.
I love watching him pitch. Oh my God.
Oh, and he's quick too. I like a guy that just gets the ball.
That's not good. Not good.
That he's going back to Boston for tests is not good, because usually if this was something, he would just stay and go home, after tonight. But they're obviously great concern.
Hopefully, it's just something like the tired shoulder type thing, and you just miss a start and you're all right.
Well, are we in trouble if Bueller goes down?
That's a quality starter.
And
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
got to move up a level at that point.
Does all of a sudden the Quinn Priester deal looks really bad?
I thought it was bad from the beginning, but yeah, it makes it look worse.
Right.
Is there anyone down in Pawtucket or Worcester we can hold?
Well,
I'm
here's the
hoping Cutter
rotation.
Crawford comes back too.
Well,
so.
Fitz was great, but he's injured, right?
So right now you would have Crochet, you'd have Bayo, you would have Giolito, you would have I guess you would bring up Dobbins, and then if
Campbell.
then Fitz comes back, right?
Fitz kind of got lit up last time up though, right?
No, he got hurt. He left.
Got hurt.
Was he getting lit up before he got hurt?
No, he's pitched for reasonable. I like Fitz. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay. Hey, don't be saying anything about my guy.
Oh, I hope he does great.
I thought Crochet was your guy.
You know, with the name like Fitz,
I got more than one guy.
Oh,
So I have this
my
sense
guy
that
in every
Raphael,
minor league too.
I have a sense that Raphael is going out the door soon.
No, they
Right.
got to get rid of Hamilton.
Well, he doesn't bring you anything.
He stinks.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, look, Peter
He can't even
Abraham
hit.
the other
He
day-
can't even hit a child's weight. He can't even make it to 100, and he only plays one position decently, and that's second base. And we got like 4 of them.
I know, but he's not going to bring you anything. Rafaela would bring you something.
Oh yeah, in a trade. But I'd say send Hamilton down and bring up Anthony Omea.
Okay, look, you can bring up those
Anthony's just killing it, right?
guys.
killing.
And he's back playing in the field now too, so that's a big plus too.
So they
Peter-
screwed
Peter-
around to get those 60 days in, so they don't have to. They get an extra.
Yeah, they may be. Peter Abraham dropped a very strong hint in the Sunday Globe that the Red Sox could make, and he called it to create room for Anthony, a surprising trade. So I think that means I don't think trading Rafaela would be surprising. And I don't know how much would it be Duran? I mean, to me, it's one of the 3 outfielders. Would all of whom would be surprising if they traded, right?
They're not going to trade Abreu. No way. No way.
I don't think they're going to trade
He's-
Abreu.
he's
I went
young
to
and
Duran.
Story?
No,
Not to bring the Anthony up. This was
No,
specific.
not for Anthony, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe bring Mayer.
I think it has to be Rafaela Russell. It has to be.
Could be.
But Mayer
Yeah.
could come up now and play second base. Get rid of Hamilton. He ruins the lineup.
Oh, Christian Campbell's playing second base.
He's hurt. Ribs, same thing as
Well, I know, but I mean, okay.
I was going to bring this up. I think Kristen Campbell, if you had a strong second baseman, I think, why don't you put him at first?
I don't know.
Seems like too athletic to put it for.
Yeah, that's just not the.
yeah,
right
it's kind of a
place to put
waste
that
of
guy.
his
Waste of a-
ability.
yeah. Yeah.
Well,
You
I
put
mean,
your fat, slow guys over first,
well,
right?
then go get me one, because Cases is useless. He has no role. I mean,
Yeah, but in case it's useless, I don't think the answer is Campbell at first, but I would be
That
all
was
in
at
favor of
first.
trading Cases. Trust me.
Devers is right.
Yeah.
well, I think, that's very
Maybe it's cases they got to trade. I don't know if he's worth a bag of balls right now, but
well, Devers would be a better glove at first base too.
yeah, but that would
do
be
you think cases could be the trade? I mean, is there any?
No, I don't think
anyone that
people
would take him. You think?
people aren't knocking down the door to get Cases right now.
Wow, I didn't see that in the Pete Abraham scenes. That's very
Pete
interesting.
Abraham, it was in his notes, and he said, "Don't be surprised if the Red Sox make a surprising trade to create room for Roman Anthony." I was like, "Okay,
But
All
they
right, so
changed it,
who's our number one suspect then?
Well,
Scotty?
Scotty
we'd
thinks
love to get rid of
it's either
Story and Yoshida.
Rafaela. It's either, but again, we're talking about Roman Anthony, right?
outfielder. It's an outfielder.
So it's got to be an outfielder, and it's got to be surprising. There's only
Got to
two
be a
guys.
corner outfielder too.
Well, not necessarily. You could move Duran if you traded Rafaela. You can move Duran to center.
He's
If you
not a
traded-
good center fielder though.
I know, but you're trying to get a rookie of the
I
year.
would say
kinda-
Duran's off the list.
It would seem that way. That would be a weird, trading him right, especially after the whole
And
series.
It'd be a bad public relations move, which they're very sensitive to.
I have high
trade
hopes for
Duran.
Abreu too, myself. I
Oh,
think
you can't get rid.
something.
Abreu is the best right fielder we've had since Dwight Evans.
Yeah,
Not
I like
even-
Abreu.
You had him traded and gone all the last offseason.
Because
That was
wanted
last
Crochet.
year, Joe. That was last year, Joe.
No, but it's true. But I wanted Crochet, and I would have
You got
included Abreu in that deal to get Crochet, Joseph. Absolutely, I had no problem with that. And
Wait, Scotty had his name written in the book. He had a line through it. Now he has to erase the line, right?
But look, I tell you, I did not appreciate how good a right fielder he was last year. Maybe because he was new, a rookie. But I'm telling you something. I haven't watched him play at Fenway Park 8 times now. That guy is as smooth a right fielder as we've
I
ever.
like him.
Covers a lot of ground.
I think he's got a bright future here.
Yeah,
really do.
You would regret getting rid of.
Yeah. I think he has superstar written on him myself.
The only caveat is if you're going to give me Cabrera from the Marlins, right? Number one starter, would you do it?
Yeah,
Number one starter, I would. Yeah, because
Alcantara,
we got
you mean?
Anthony to put there, right? Is that why you could do it?
Yeah, but then Cabrera.
For number one starter, there aren't many guys I wouldn't give up. I got to be honest.
Excuse me, Russ. What's Cabrera's contract situation?
hang on.
Because that's where the value would be. Because he's a number one starter, right?
Yeah.
And he's apparently on the.
They always talk about that Alcantara there from the Marlins that won the Cy Young a couple of years ago.
Would you do Abreu for number one? Would you do Abreu for number one starter?
Yes, you
I would too.
Sure.
Only because we have Anthony in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Well, I would do it anyways.
I would want a lot. You know what I mean? At least an opening day starter. You know what I mean? That quality.
Again, Timmy, if you have 2 number one starters, legit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In any playoff series,
You're the favorite in any playoff series.
Back when Pedro and what's his name, the bloody sock. You know what I mean? It's all of a sudden you are a legit contender. You have 2 aces going.
Russell, what's the do? Can you have their?
He makes nothing. He's just basically arbitration, $1.9 million, and he's under control through 2028. You would have to give an arm and a leg to
stocks
to
be
get
humping their
Marlins
leg
ain't
for
giving
that.
up something like that.
Well,
I don't know why
honestly,
Marlins. I don't know why the Marlins would ever trade that guy.
No, but they've been shopping him apparently.
Why?
All right.
They're not even having to pay him. Why would you do that?
They love that's the kind of guy they love is the guy under control and cheap.
They're not letting him go until he's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I've heard like it's fait accompli that they're going to.
Is this
All
ball
I ever hear is Alcantara
ball
from them.
sack or
No, that's Timmy. Timmy has balls.
one time.
Who
Who else had a ball? Who
You know how
else
many
had a
times
ball?
I've done one
Joe
time?
had a ball-
Ball sack. Ball
Joe had a
sack
ball
is a
sack.
legitimate site too.
Joe had a ball sack.
For
moment
what?
this
For
year, too,
porn?
right?
I don't know, but
What's a legitimate
was
site for?
available for a while. I remember going to it after
I
you said
forget
that about Jimmy.
Oh, because you've shared stuff too, and I always love when you share like stuff that's not correct. Russell, Russell's trying to be so polite to you. Like Joe, I don't know. I can't find that anywhere else.
Also, I got to pipe in
check
here.
your ball sack source.
I forget which game it was this week, but I had someone did an oh shit thing on the text, and I was like, a minute behind on something. I forget what it
No,
was.
that's what he's infamous for doing.
What game? What game was that this week? Last
This
week.
week, he does
Last
it
week,
all the
maybe.
time. And I
I
say,
was straight. I think I texted him. Well, happy to know this is going to end well. You know,
that's
something
what he
like
does all
that.
the time. I
I'll
said,
have to go through the thread.
Joe, I'm streaming. I'm behind. Okay, I won't do it again. Fuck.
I gotta go
That
through.
was you. If I look up the thread from last night,
I
that
think it was Scotty.
you.
I think it was Scotty.
No, I
Let
never
me
do
look through the
that.
thread here.
No,
Let me
it
look
was
through the
you.
thread here.
No, it wasn't.
All
My
right, I
stream
think it
is
was.
so
I think it
behind.
was.
Are you kidding me? I'm watching.
It
I'm
was
still waiting
you.
for results from the 1990s from games in my stream. It's so slow. Are you kidding me?
Wait, Russ, I think Scotty. I think it was you.
Oh no! For what?
I wrote because I know I responded. Well, happy. I know now that this is going to end well, or something like that.
Oh, maybe the Red Sox. Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
What was it?
I think I kind
it
of
was the Red Sox game last night.
jumped the gun with
No,
that.
no.
No, I think it might have been the
But the
Red.
Red
find
Sox
it.
game last night, that was Scotty.
Yeah, well, the moment we didn't score in the 10th, I knew the fucking game was over.
Oh yeah.
That was it. I mean, Jesus. And didn't we have a chance to get a Hoffman this offseason?
Did we?
We did, didn't we?
I don't know if we did. I like him.
Russell, didn't we have a chance to get Hoffman this?
There was talk of it, yeah.
But he's a free agent, right?
Yeah, although we're not. I don't think our closer is a problem right now.
Yeah.
Is Hoffman the
You know,
closer?
I'm looking through our text.
Yeah,
It's
Hoffman's
amazing.
their closer.
Oh,
It's amazing how much we text. It is really amazing because I've gone through like 200 and I'm only back like 3 days. You know.
Yeah, that's why we started this show. We got a lot to say. All right, we got to finish up with the Bruins because we got to go.
Oh, come on. Put the Bruins on ice until the draft.
No, we got to talk.
There's nothing to
First of
talk
all, the
about.
lottery draft, is that tonight?
You know, I don't even know.
It's
I don't think so.
Playoffs are still going on. I mean,
no, but they're doing the lottery.
the
draft.
lottery pick. Okay.
Yeah, no. We have a chance, a 9% chance to get number 1 pick.
Wow, that would be something. I don't even know who's out there. I haven't really looked at
Is
it
there
too
a
much.
consensus number 1 pick this year? I haven't heard any buzz about it at all.
I don't know. We were rumored to get, if we had the 4th pick, the kid from BC, but of course they had to fuck it up and get 1 point in the last game. So now they're at the 5th pick right now.
It doesn't say anything about the lottery being tonight.
Okay, so I just want to quickly, the rumor is, in hockey, when the rumor for this stuff, it always seems to happen. Sullivan is coming back. Mike Sullivan, is that his name?
No, he's in final negotiations with the Rangers.
The
I don't
Rangers,
understand
the
why.
Rangers pounced on
Why
him.
wouldn't we bring him back?
Yeah, why? Yeah, he was a good coach.
They
The
pounced
first-
on him.
Yeah.
2-time Stanley Cup champ, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and local kid,
Local
right?
guy. Yeah, I don't understand why he's not going to be the coach of the Bruins. I mean, I don't know.
What are we gonna end up like with Rick fucking Tocchet or something?
Yeah,
Well,
or
it's-
Tortorella. Although Tortorella would be fun. I still
Yeah.
claim that Tortorella would be fun for a couple of years.
Oh
Just
my
for the press conferences.
Yeah.
alone.
Imagine having
love it.
Joe Maz and Tortorella as two of our 4 coaches.
Oh my
The
god!
garden would be hopping.
Somebody's gonna have to die. Somebody would have to.
I'd pay an extra $1 a seat a game to have him here, just for the entertainment value.
I love watching his face on when things happen out on the ice. I mean, he's so expressive.
Oh, then the press conferences. Oh my god! He just he tells everybody he fucking hates them.
Yeah.
And they can't ask questions. He's great. Totally right. He needs to be
Fuck you. I'm not
I'm not,
answering.
you don't get to ask me a question. I just. All right, well, that's our show for tonight, boys.
Oh, I know what it was. The Masters. It was the Masters.
Oh, I screwed that up. Oh, because I was actually in the airport, so I was
Yeah,
actually.
you were watching it live somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was behind.
You were like
And
a half hour
said-
behind, weren't you?
I said, I
You
guess
were way
Rose gonna.
behind.
I guess Rose misses his putt and
I'm
Rory
sorry.
makes it.
I'm sorry. I was
That's
channeling
okay.
Uncle Joseph. I was
So
channeling
Joe,
my-
you're off the hook. Scotty's it now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for validating that.
That's because it's loud.
Sitting there, they're still on 18, and Scotty's like, "Oh, happy Rory won it." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh man, I feel so bad now. Oh, my
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
I
but
was happy.
Tim was looking forward to Rory winning this.
Well, yeah, I kind of had a few minutes to enjoy it, waiting for more great shots out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, Scotty.
You get
All
to
right, that's
enjoy
our
the
show.
vicarious
I get
no
to
longer.
celebrate it twice. Yeah, so I get to enjoy it for like an
Hey,
extra 5 minutes. You know?
Joseph's the reason we lost the Panthers series, just so you know, a few years
So it
ago.
was a good oh shit. It wasn't a bad oh shit. Like the Bruins just gave up a goal with 1 minute to go in the Stanley Cup final or something like that. You know?
Joe. All right, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank
The Panthers are doing well with our rat.
Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Thursday night at 7 o'clock for this lively banter. My name is Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.